as well. Yes, so what actually we are learning today is regarding the traffic analysis. So basically, as we had understood in our previous session, when it comes to traffic analysis, right, for web applications, mobile applications, APIs, it is much more easier because they will be using only specific protocol, which is HTTP or HTTPS. When it comes to the client application, right? Here, what we will be having is we'll be having, like, it is not limited to the specific this HTTP or HTTPS protocol only. Here it can use FTP, SSH, RDP, whatever protocols are available. It can use any of the protocol to go forward and communicate with those specific external servers or systems wherever they are trying to connect to. So because of that particular reason, Burp is not the sufficient thing which we will be having. So here we will be using multiple tools where we can do the same detail, like same task, right, which we will be having. So in that scenario, what we will be having is whenever we want to intercept those specific requests, if there is any specific other protocol which has been utilized, right? So the tool which we are going to use is 𝗧𝗃𝗶𝗶. Now again, 𝗧𝗃𝗶𝗶 is the tool where we will be able to intercept and see the request. We will not be able to modify those specific things. Most of these protocols, we will, even though if we are trying to modify it, it does not matter within the network itself, because if it is HTTP or HTTPS, we will be able to easily go forward and intercept and modify those requests. But if it is other protocol, right, FTP or SSH or anything like that, intercepting that traffic, we can see those details, but modification, right, will not be that much useful for us for our test cases as well. So one thing will be 𝗃𝗃𝗶𝗶. Now 𝗃𝗃𝗶𝗶 will be the one where we will be able to intercept any of the protocol, right? Basically, how actually it works, we will be able to take up that particular application, the process, and we will be injecting 𝗃𝗃𝗶𝗶 process to that particular process, right? And it will be taking up that details, right? Whatever are the transmission which is going on, it will show us what all are the IP addresses it is trying to connect. All those things will be there. Second thing is the chain of tools which we'll be using. The first one is MITM proxy, and with the chain of 𝗏𝗏. MITM proxy will be the one which is just a script. What actually it will be doing, it will be taking up, it will be creating a temporary proxy within our system where it will be taking up that process, where exactly it is communicating that process. It will be taking up and it will be forwarding those requests to 𝗏𝗏 listening proxy, and then we will be able to see that particular details. Again, here it is not limited specific to HTTP and HTTPS, although HTTP and HTTPS are very well available here. And we will be able to intercept the specific traffic, but along with that, other protocols also can be intercepted and we will be able to see those specific details. The last tool which we'll be using is Fiddler, again with the chain of 𝗏𝗏, right? So at that point of time, again Fiddler will be doing the similar things. It will be taking up the details from the client application and it will be forwarding the same thing to 𝗏𝗏. But again, at that point of time, what happens is the client applications, some of the applications might work in MITM proxy or not. If they are not working on MITM proxy, they will be working in Fiddler, right? So likewise, the functionalities are same, in the backend algorithm is different. So in case if any of the application is not able to get intercepted by MITM proxy, we can use Fiddler for the same. Now, typically, we are supposed to see all of those specific things in our today's session, but as I have informed you guys, like there is some network issue. So I have already pre-installed this 𝗃𝗃𝗶𝗶 tool, so I can show it to you. Now, if I just go forward and download like this MITM proxy, also I have also configured, like also downloaded within my system. 𝗏𝗏 and Fiddler are not available, and if I open it and if I try it, if it works, definitely I will be able to show it to you by today's session. Otherwise, what we'll do is I will show it to you in our next session itself. Like today, there is very bad network from my end. So meanwhile, this gets loaded. Also, in my previous meeting, I was just disconnected, like getting disconnected a lot. So in this is also like there is a chance where I might be disconnected. So in case if I'm disconnected, just wait for a few seconds. I will be back. But yeah, you can see this is what is happening, right? So I will give it some time to get loaded, okay, and then we will, like, meanwhile what we'll be seeing is we will be seeing this eco mirage one, right? How we will be able to check that particular details. So again, Eco Mirage, we will be having the functionality where we can intercept the request and we can see the details on any particular protocols which are available. Okay, but again, at that point of time, we will not be able to modify those specific requests, right? So those kind of things will not be there. It will be able to capture and it will be able to see those specific details. One other thing is many times you someone will tell that Eco Mirage is an outdated version, right? Because they have not updated their tool from 2017. Again, it seemed that it is outdated, but we are having very less options in thick client application. Thick client penetration testing is not a major thing like web applications and APIs. So the tools and all of those type of things are very rare, right? So there are not much more tools which will be helping us. So again, it is having all the functionalities, although it is not been updated from last few years, but it is having all the functionalities which can cover up those specific things, right? So there is not an issue. We will be able to use it, and within your projects also, you will be using the same thing itself. But yeah, people will tell that, okay, this is the tool which is outdated and those kind of things. We understand, but yeah, again, it will be sufficient for our testing as well. And in case if we are not using Ecom Mirage, we can definitely use these other tools as well. So any one out of these tools can help us definitely, right? We are having 2 to 3 options, and any of the thick client application which you take, definitely it will be intercepted by any one of the two, right? So we need to check manually. Many of the applications, all these applications, that all these tools will be able to intercept, and there is a chance where there are few of the applications basically which might not be able to intercept with this particular tool. Then you can use other tool. So there is one thing called proxy aware thick client applications and proxy unaware thick client applications. Now, in case if you are going for an interview or if you are talking with your client, right, they might use this terminology. Now, this has been used many times during my projects as well. Now, what actually are these particular things? What happens is whenever this thick client application will like is being detected by these applications, right? And we will be able to intercept that particular traffic. They are called proxy aware thick client applications, right? Where the traffic will be intercepted. Traffic can be intercepted if the application is using some kind of very unique port number, right, which is not available, or like unique protocol, right, which is not available and which cannot be intercepted. Those specific applications are called proxy unaware thick kind applications. Okay, there are very less chances where you will be getting those specific things, but yeah, there is a possibility where those kind of things will be there. But again, using the Fiddler, MITM proxy, Eco Mirage will be working. So at that point of time, if you are getting any of the applications, definitely you will be able to intercept also. I within my projects, I have seen many of those specific applications which are ATM applications, right? You guys are knowing, right? ATM applications again are thick client application itself. If you go to ATM, there is a Windows system, right? Hardened Windows system is available, and they are having this banking thick client application, right? So those applications are also I have tested, and during that particular phase also I was able to intercept that particular traffic, right? So which is much more hardened, then other applications are very normal compared to that one, right? So basically, typically you will be able to see those specific things. Now, when it comes to 𝗃𝗁𝗏, right? The first thing which will be required to do is inject 𝗃𝗁𝗏's process to the thick client application which we are testing, that particular process. So in this scenario, what I will do is I will open one of the application, for example, this one. And once this application has been started, right? After that, we will click on inject, right? Before, if you are clicking on the inject button, it will not be able to identify because the application process is not yet executed. Once we click on that inject option, here we'll be getting the list of all those specific processes which are running within the system. What we'll be doing is we can just search on that, and you'll be able to see. So here, this is the application, or this is the process where we want to inject. We will click on OK. And here you will be able to see injected the process. In some scenarios, if the process is not injected or there is some error in between, what you need to do is you need to close this one. You need to close the thick client application, re-execute it, and retry it, right? There might be some of the scenarios where the injection is not completed due to some of the issues of the system itself, right? So at that point of time, either the process is being crashed or any kind of those things might have occurred. So at that point of time, what will happen is here it will show you that injection error and injection application is not injected, right? So those kind of things might occur. So you can just close the thick client application and re-execute it. Now here you can see currently it is intercepting, or it is monitoring those specific traffic, and when the traffic is coming up, it will stop it and show the details here. Second thing is specific to rules. Now these are the rules which we want to see. Now inbound is the specific request which will be going from the thick client application to the server, and outbound is that response which is coming through. If you want to only see the request, you can just enable this. If you want to see the request and response, you can enable both of them. You can add new set of rules as well, right? If you want to highlight some specific type of strings or matches and those kind of things, if you want to have some kind of configuration, there are very less configuration here, but yeah, basically we can go forward and do. If I go to the rules, and if I want to set some specific IP address and port number, right, for interception only, I can do that, because the kind application might be connecting to multiple ports, right? So at that point of time, if I want to look for one particular IP address itself, we can do that, right? I can just add that one. I can click on intercept. I can click on log. I can also check for the context, right? For example, I want to check for the password or those kind of things. We can go forward and do that. We can set up that particular strings here, and we are good to go. But currently we don't want to set up any rule, because anyhow the client application will not be sending that many requests like web applications APIs, right? Basically it will be sending very limited number of requests, so we don't want to filter as of now. I will just click on OK. I will disable that particular rule. I will just enable that the default ones, which is all the outbound traffic and all the inbound traffic. Now what we will be doing is we will go through the application, and we will send some specific queries checking what actually are the data which is getting transmitted. So I will go to configuration account mail and likewise. So now we will be going through those specific user sensitive information, right, where our credentials are getting stored or credentials getting transmitted, they are getting verified, those specific type of things, right? Based on your application, whatever are the specific functionalities where sensitive data is transmitted, those specific places will be going through. For example, here my credentials of my mail server is going through. I will click on OK. And in case if I want to change, I can definitely change. But now I will click on OK. I will check what actually are the things which are happening. Now I believe, let me just go again and change it. As it was default, it has not done any task there. I will remove it. So I will add. We will click on OK. And what will happen is at that point of time, here the request will be shown up. Let me just also do some of the other functionalities. For example, sending the mail. We will go ahead and send that mail also. Likewise, we'll send that, and we will see what actually are those details which are coming up. So here you can see this is how the details will be looking like, right? So it is going through the authentication first, SMTP authentication first. Normally the same things will be happening, right? So it will be going to the authentication, it will check whether the user can be authenticated or not, and then it will be able to send the mail, right? So this is how it will be able to show, and this is the hex code. Again, hex code will not be necessary for us. We can just read these particular details and we'll be able to identify what actually is the request which is going on. Now this is how the request will be looking like, right? This is not HTTP request, right? So you will not be getting that get method and URL and those kind of things, right? Or other protocols does not have the same things, right? The same data which will be going through HTTP and HTTPS. But although we are doing this web application testing and API testing from yours, definitely we feel that, okay, this is something different, right? So basically, that kind of things definitely will not be able to see here, because those protocols are different than the HTTP and HTTPS protocol. So the details which we'll be seeing is this kind of details itself, right? We will click on OK, and here you can see the other things are going, my desktop details are going, right? So basically now here you can see these are the IP addresses which are being communicated with. Then basically it will be sending all the details like hello and those kind of things. This is nothing but the first handshake protocols, right? So those kind of things are going to that particular server. Now auth login is there, right? And now here you can see my details are going through this particular format, right? Which is this one. This can be my user ID, and this can be my password. So likewise, all of those specific things are going through. And once that authentication is completed, here you can see cannot get, yeah, so basically here cannot get response from mail server, because anyhow you can see my network is not that much great, so it was not able to get the response. But normally it should be something like unauthenticated response, right? Because my credentials were incorrect. So likewise we'll be able to go forward and see those specific details, right? So here also you can see within this particular window our credentials are getting transmitted, and that particular transmit was going through the clear text format, right? So this is what we'll be looking for. Likewise, so again here also our credentials are going through in clear text, right? So likewise we'll be able to validate. So basically other data, right, will not be in the same format. We will be able to go forward and see that particular details, and we'll be able to check what actually is the data which is going in, what format it is going, whether that data needs some kind of encryption or not, how actually the data is flowing, right? Whether it is using secure protocol or insecure protocol. So likewise we'll be able to validate. Once that particular interception is done, you need to close that thick client application and uninject that process, right? So if it is still injected, you just need to close this, right? So here this button, right? So at that point of time, that injection will be removed from that application, and then you'll be able to close it up, right? So this is how simple 𝗔𝗃𝗶𝗶 is, and this is the functionality which it will be showing, which will be helping us to identify that particular application, protocol, and traffic as well. Any doubts, any queries till now? No. Next thing is with the use of MITM proxy and burp suite, right? So we will be the details or the steps for installing MITM proxy is bit more, right? Where we need to execute few of the commands, download those dependencies, and then we need to do, right? So we will do it together itself. I have not pre-installed it, but the one thing which I will, yeah, so here you can see it is not able to reach properly because of my mobile hotspot, right? Because Currently I'm using mobile hotspot, so again it is not showing us properly. So we'll wait for a few seconds. If it works, definitely I will download it and show it to you guys. But yeah, in case if it does not works, we will take up the doubt session for today. Anyhow, our Monday sessions are doubt sessions, so we will take up that particular doubt session today, and later on we will be seeing this particular topic in our next session. So we'll try to execute few times.
So Keval, I have one question.
Yeah,
Like
please.
through Mirage, how we can come to know like which protocol application is using?
Actually, in 𝗧𝗏𝗶𝗶𝗶, we will not be having that particular details. It will just intercept those specific details and show it to us. So there is no like details on which protocol it is using. So that you will be able to see in the fiddler, where you will be able to see, in bits and parts you will be able to see in MITM proxy as well. But typically what happens during our project is our clients itself, they will be sharing us those specific details when we will be starting up with our project, right? They will directly share us that our thick client application is communicating with this list of protocols. So from that we will be able to identify, right, how in your web application testing you will be sharing that what are the list of API calls, or what are the list of web application URLs, right? Here within our questionnaire, that will also be one of the part, and there they will be providing us with those specific details likewise.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe this will not be having the things today. So let us see this particular part in our next session. So this fiddler and both of those things, and along with that we will be seeing the weak GUI functions as well. So how we will be able to modify the GUI of the application, and how we'll be able to see those things, and then we will be able to see the client side authorization bypass and client side injection in the next session. So those are the main topics which are available for next session. Any doubts, any queries, anything for today's session?
No doubt, actually. Let's see, because more questions for MITM proxy and all that. I think setup is quite maybe not straightforward.
Yes, correct,
Maybe
correct,
there are hiccups
correct,
while doing that. Yes, yes.
correct. Like
Okay.
in MITM proxy, it will be there will be lots of the different steps where we need to do work around and those kind of things. That's right.
Okay. Okay. So Fiddler is a straightforward as compared to if we talk about like MITM, the
Correct.
Fiddler is more, easy
Oh, yeah.
kind of
Previously, what
thing.
happened was Fiddler was not the best tool previously when it was the first version, and we used to we were not like using itself Fiddler itself, because it was not at all giving us any functionalities compared to 𝗧𝗏𝗶𝗶𝗶 and MITM proxy. But recent updates of Fiddler is very nice, where they have covered up those things. So we had recently started using Fiddler itself. So that like now it is having good amount of functionality compared to previous ones.
Okay. So let's connect on tomorrow
Sure,
for
sure, sure.
this.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Keval. Have a nice day
Welcome.
ahead.
Have a good day
Yeah.
too. Bye.
Bye.